everybody, I'm Chris Provost, and today on Provost Park Pass, I think I solved a riddle that Disney put out in 2007, and nobody has solved it until now. We're the very first. I'm going to show you step by step how we found this riddle, how we solved it. Let's do it. Woo! All right, so this video is gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna go through, I want you to think like a detective. I'm taking step by step to show you every single piece we came up with in order to solve this riddle. So let's go through it step by step by step. First thing, like I said, you have to think like a detective. Now, who is the best detective that's ever been written about? None other than Sherlock Holmes. Some people might argue that Batman is the world's greatest detective, which there's an argument, but I really think we're talking here about Sherlock Holmes. And that is a very important thing, to think like Sherlock Holmes. Speaking of Sherlock Holmes, we know that Disney actually likes Sherlock Holmes. Don't worry, this is all gonna come around full circle. It all makes sense in just a moment. How do I know that Disney likes Sherlock Holmes? Well, let me show you. So I'm about to ride Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, but I need to tell you a little history about this attraction. Inside this attraction, there's a silhouette of who else? Sherlock Holmes. What? That's right, Sherlock Holmes. The reason is because there's a famous actor back in the day in the black and white films. His name was Basil Rathbone, and he played Sherlock Holmes. And then in the 1940s, when they came out with the animated movie Wind of the Willows, he was the narrator for Wind of the Willows, and they put his silhouette right here inside the ride. So we know for a fact that Disney likes Sherlock Holmes. Let me show you the silhouette. All right, so now we're gonna go on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and I'm gonna show you for a fact that they like Sherlock Holmes. Okay, right here is where you see Sherlock Holmes. Right in that window right there. There's a silhouette of Sherlock Holmes. Okay, so now we've established that Disney likes Sherlock Holmes, and that will come into play in just a moment. That's clue number one. Disney likes Sherlock Holmes. All right, now before we continue on with all these different clues, I have to tell you a little backstory of how I even discovered this riddle, because it wasn't because of me, it was because of viewers like you. A couple of months ago, I was here in Disneyland with my Disneyland Paris cast member friend, Ludovic. Now, and everybody in that video thought I was calling him Little Vic, but his name is Ludovic. He's a Disneyland Paris cast member, and he came here to Disneyland, and he wanted to see all the things that they have here in Disneyland that they don't have in Disneyland Paris. And one of the things that they have here that they don't have there is Tom Sawyer Island, or Pirate's Lair, whatever you like to call it. So Ludovic, he really wanted to go to Tom Sawyer Island, or Pirate's Lair, depending whatever you like to call it. But for the rest of this video, I'm going to call it Tom Sawyer Island, because that's what I know it as, that's what I think of it as. So just so you guys know, continuing on beyond that. So while we were on Tom Sawyer Island, we saw some dancing skeletons stenciled on a wall. And he asked me, he's like, hey, what are those dancing skeletons? And I had no idea. And I just told him, I said, I think that's the kill count for the pirates, how many people they've pushed off a boat maybe. And Ludovic's like, oh, it makes sense. Well, we posted that video, and then people started coming back, and they're like, actually, it's a semaphore. And I was like, what's a semaphore? By the way, that reminds me of a really good joke, but unfortunately nobody's here to tell the joke to. So I'm going to play both parts. I'm going to tell the joke, I'm going to be the joker, and also the person hearing the joke. My acting debut. Ready? Begin. Pretend I'm talking to another person over there, which is me. I'm like, hey, do you have a hammer for? What's a hammer for? Oh, you know, pounding in nails. Anyways, that's my hammer for joke. So on the wall is written a semaphore. And what is a semaphore? Well, it's a coded message that you have to decrypt. And so the viewers of that video saw those dancing skeletons, and they're like, Chris, that's a semaphore. And then somebody says, hey, actually, I think that's from a Sherlock Holmes book. See, starting to come together. So there is a book called The Adventure of the Dancing Men that stars Sherlock Holmes as a detective. And this is, by the way, spoiler alert, this is one of only 2 stories that Sherlock Holmes has where his client dies at the end of the book. Well, here's what happens. In that book, his client comes in and she has this semaphore of these dancing men, and she's worried about it, she feels like it's something bad. So Sherlock Holmes deciphers this semaphore, and he's able to take that message and do this. Well, guess what? On Tom Sawyer Island, those dancing skeleton match up perfectly perfectly with the dancing men in the Sherlock Holmes book. So now we can decipher the message on Tom Sawyer Island. Let's go do it. So now we have to go to Tom Sawyer Island so we can take a look at this coded message, this semaphore. As you can see, it's called Pirate's Lair, but right behind it says Tom Sawyer, so I'm gonna keep calling it Tom Sawyer. Okay, so before we continue on with the video, I just want to show you this little the treasure pile of pirates and all their booty. I think this is a hidden Mickey. What do you guys think? I think it's upside down. I think it's a hidden Mickey. I think that's an ear. That's an ear. I think it's a Mickey because it's pretty. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that a hidden Mickey? I think it is. I don't normally do this. I'm gonna kind of peel back the behind the layers here at Provost Park Pass. I've been trying to film this video now for almost 4 months. And every single time I've come out here to film this video, there's been a reason why we couldn't film it. The island was closed. That's been one reason. They're doing some stuff for Fantasmic. That was closed. But Dead Man's Grotto has been closed now for months and months. And I keep thinking it's gonna be repaired. And I just talked to cast member. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, she's like, Chris, they're having electrical problems with the Dead Man's Grotto. She goes, we had electricians out here. She goes, but it is kind of on a lower tier. It's not, and so it's gonna be a while before we even get it fixed. I'm like, I can try and get this video. But luckily, I have footage from a different video, which I'm gonna put in place. So I think we'll be able to continue on this video because I just really wanted this video. So we're gonna do this. Now, before we get to that footage, we need to show you the semaphore. Let's do it. So right here on the island, you can see this ship. There's like a little ship. It's got a skull, like a warning. You're gonna come right in here to the ship. You see a cannon right up there. And then right you see along the wall, what do you see? You see these dancing skeletons. This is the semaphore. Now they match up perfectly with the Sherlock Holmes story. So we can translate this. So let's translate it right now. We have this code here, and from the Sherlock Holmes book, I was able to then transcribe this one here and come up with what it's saying here. And I think what I think happened, I think when Disney put this up here, they were planning on doing more than just one riddle here on the island, and you'll explain why in just a moment. And I think that they ended up just doing the one riddle. Okay, let's translate this. This first row of skeletons says each, E-A-C-H. This here says answer, each answer, A-N-S-W-E-R. This is B, B-E. I love this. They actually have like a little apostrophe over there. This says B Havin, H-A-V-I-N. This is 3, T-H-R-E-E. This was the big one, identical. I-D-E-N-T-I-C-A, this spells identical. This one down here, letters, L-E-T-T-E-R-S. So what does it say? Each answer be having 3 identical letters. Because of that word each, that's plural, I think that we're gonna have more than one riddle, but they only have one riddle, or I've only discovered one riddle, and I've gone high and low. I think if it was gonna be singular, where it said the rather than each, but anyways, so now we know the answer to the riddle is gonna have 3 identical letters. The problem is, where do we find the riddle? Right here in Tom Sawyer Island, in Dead Man's Grotto. All right, so here's the problem, is we have to go into Dead Man's Grotto to find the riddle. And it's enclosed indefinitely. We don't know when it's gonna be opened, but luckily I do have footage of the riddle. When you go inside Dead Man's Grotto, you're gonna see like a chest that has Davy Jones' heart in it. And then you're gonna go around the corner, and on the wall, you're gonna see where they carved in the wall, this pirate carved. And I always thought it was just something cute, but it's a riddle. It's a riddle. We pirates face a sea of troubles. Our dying breaths are only now. There it is. And that's the riddle. We pirates face a sea of troubles. Our dying breaths are only, and then it's like this. This is a question. Now here's what I did: is I sat down, tried to figure this out, and it came to my mind. It's a rhyme. The key word is troubles. I discovered. Troubles rhymes with bubbles. B-U-B-B-L-E-S. One more time, B-U-B-B-L-E-S. Now, if we go back over and look at the semaphore of the dancing skeletons, what does it say? That each answer has 3 identical letters? 3 identical letters, like beep, 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 ha, ha, ha. Bubbles has 3 letters that are saying B, has 3 B's in it. So I'm fairly confident that we have now solved the riddle of the Dead Man's Grotto. We know that the answer is Bubbles because of Sherlock Holmes and because of your guys' genius of pointing me in the right direction. I can't believe this. This riddle has been here since 2007. And when I started trying to do research on this, I could not find anything about it. So I just want to say, I think that this is because of you guys. It's one of the first things I found. Maybe there are other people out there who solve this, but I could not find this. So the riddle here is been solved on Tom Sawyer Island, and the answer is bubbles. Now, before we continue, I want to take a moment. Let's get comfortable. You know the funny thing about bubbles? Bubbles, when they're underwater, they go up. They are always going up. And do you know what also is going up? You. You are amazing. And I am talking to you. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the guy that's in LA right now wearing the Dodgers cap. I want you to know that you're amazing. I'm talking to the mom who lives in North Carolina, the single mom who's struggling. You are an amazing mother. I'm talking to that girl who lives in New Mexico that maybe just got dumped by her boyfriend. You are awesome. It doesn't even matter. I'm talking to that dad who lives in Colorado who's working really hard, trying at a job that he doesn't really like, but he's trying to provide for his family. You are amazing. I'm talking to all of you. I want you guys to know how awesome you are. You are what makes the world better. Because of you guys, the world's a better place, and I want you guys to know that. I hope you guys feel that. I know that there's some people out there that are struggling and going through a difficult time and having some difficulties, and it gets better. It absolutely gets better. And all right, guys, guess what? There's a treat here. I see the bootstrap. Let's check it out. I cannot handle this.
I shook her down, I shook her all around the town. When one thing reached my mind, the Nazi bear behind. And as we sail around the horn, oh my God, you've never been born. All the way you roam, the way you all the way, all the way you hear me sing. We're about to stop the trail, yeah. All the way you go, all the way you'll hear. We're about to stop the trail, yeah. We're about to stop the trail, yeah. We're about to stop the trail, yeah.
You guys are amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Real quick, do you guys know how much it costs a pirate to get their ear pierced?
Uh-oh.
I'll tell you what, okay, if you're going to tell us a pirate joke,
Yes.
if we know the answer,
Yes.
you have to do a dance.
Okay, I can do that.
A buccaneer.
Oh, dang it! You guys are amazing. Awesome. Thank you guys. Have a good one. All right. Move along. Anyways, I was just talking about how amazing you guys are. And I want you guys to know that. The world is better because of you. And I mean that. When I was kind of going through a little bit of a dark time, it was hard, and I just wish that somebody would have been there to hold my hand and say it's gonna get better. And there are people out there who, when they tell you that, sometimes you just dismiss it. So that's why I keep saying it over and over, because I hope that it sticks. Let's continue on with the video. All right, I just want to recap how my mind worked, how I came up with this. Number one, you guys told me in a video with Ludovic that, hey, this is like Sherlock Holmes. That piqued my interest. So clue number one was that you guys told me about Sherlock Holmes. Number two, I know that Disney loves Sherlock Holmes. We proved that by going on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Number three, we then used the Sherlock Holmes knowledge to determine the cipher that was put on here on Tom Sawyer Island. Number four, it told us that the answer, the riddle answers have to have 3 letters. Number five, we had to find the riddle, which we did in the Dead Man's Grotto. And then number 6, trouble rhymes with bubbles, and we were able to come up with bubbles, came up with the answer. So I think that we kind of solved this, and that's how my mind worked. That's how I processed it. Maybe you guys would have come to a different conclusion. And maybe there is another riddle around here somewhere. I cannot find it. I mean, I've searched high and low. I think I've searched every inch of this island trying to find other riddles. Or possibly something did cross my mind, possibly that maybe it's the same riddle, but there could be multiple answers to that same riddle. But I don't think so. I think Disney was planning on doing more riddles and they just didn't do them. And there's only one riddle and we solved it. Okay. When I say we, I mean we did it together. Thank you guys for your help. Okay. You guys are awesome. So let's talk about this. If you haven't and you want to, could you hit the subscribe button? It's a way that you let me know you like what we're doing here at Provost Park Pass. It's kind of a way of saying like thank you, because it helps me. I'm like, oh my gosh, people like what we're doing. It makes me feel really good. And if you wanted to be notified when we do new videos, because we do new videos like 3 times a week, you hit that little bell notification, and then when a new video comes up, if you want to watch it, you can watch it. If not, then you don't have to watch it, but that way you'll be notified. And then also, every once in a while, about, I don't know, maybe once every 8 or so weeks, Amanda and I go live, and you'll get notified of that as well. Also, I just wanted to tell our Patrons how much we appreciate you. You guys are amazing and wonderful. And if you would like to become a Patreon, it's really simple. All you have to do is click the link down below and you can become a patron. And for as little as $3, that's right, $3 a month, you'll get an extra video every Sunday night where Amanda and I will answer your questions as a Patreon. You come on and go onto our Patreon community and ask us anything you want, and we will do our best to answer those questions. And those videos always come out every Sunday night. So that's, I just want to our Patreon community, thank you for being awesome, being so positive. And if you want your names and credits, that's how you do that, is by becoming a Patreon. You guys are awesome. We have a whole bunch of brand new cool videos coming out here. We got some holiday stuff coming up here. We have some more secrets coming out here. We got all kinds of Disney content be coming out here. So make sure you hit that little subscribe button. You guys are amazing and awesome. And remember, you rise just like bubbles. Bubbles, tiny bubbles, floating in the ocean. Tiny bubbles, woo! Floating in the ocean, tiny bubbles. You guys are better than tiny bubbles, and I mean that. Bubbles, B-U-B-B-L-E-S, 3 B's.